Welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, where in a single moment you can recognize your brilliance and change your life. This is a transformational hour that covers an array of topics that demonstrate how individuals use their native talents, as shown in their name, to look at the ordinary in extraordinary ways. Albert Einstein once said that everybody's a genius. Why would one of the smartest people on the planet declare that everyone is a genius unless he knew that to be true? I'm your host, Sharon Lynn Wyeth, creator of Namology Science and author of Know the Name, Know the Person. And in each weekly show, you'll hear the fascinating ways other people discovered the genius in themselves and what they were able to accomplish. At the end of tonight's show, you'll hear clues on how you can recognize your own innate genius. All over the world, people have many, many diverse interests. And in that vein, people have asked about different occupations and areas of life that have highly interested them. People want to know how highly successful people have managed to achieve their genius mindset by utilizing the gifts that are seen in their name, utilizing namology science. So, how does someone express those creative talents? And how do they share those gifts with others in such a way that everybody benefits? Our expert tonight is Katrina Sawa, who has developed her genius in the area of helping people make more money doing what they love, using her JumpStart Your Marketing system that she's developed. Katrina Sawa is known as the JumpStart Your Biz coach because she literally kicks her clients and their businesses into high gear. Katrina is the author of Love Yourself Successful and the creator of the JumpStart Your Marketing system, of which she holds live events every single year. Katrina helps you move faster and more affordably towards your ultimate revenue and professional goals using online and offline relationship marketing strategies. She leverages building business models, plus she kicks you in the butt to implement it all too. Katrina is an energetic speaker, an award-winning coach who has been featured on the Oprah and Friends network, ABC, and the CW. She's also a contributor for numerous women business organizations and websites such as the Women's Speakers Organization and the Public Speakers Association. She was awarded the National Collaborator of the Year Award by the Public Speakers Association in 2016. Get her free Jumpstart Your Biz Kit online at her website, which we'll be going over and over during tonight. Welcome to knowthename.com. God, today I'm tripping over my words. I don't know why. But anyway, welcome to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, Katrina. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you, Sharon. Good to be here.
Stuff. So describe for us, Katrina, how you got started in this business.
Oh, well, gosh, that's a long story. To keep it short, I used to be in sales and marketing. Well, I've been in sales and marketing since I was 16, my very first job. And so I'm very used to asking for the sale, asking for someone to buy something and upsell them and all that kind of stuff. But I was in advertising sales when I was meeting entrepreneur and small businesses all over my local area. And I realized they didn't really know what they were doing. They knew their business, but they didn't know what to do when it came to advertising or direct mail or follow-up or in-store promotions or figuring out how to get a client. Most of the people didn't know what to do. And I would consult with them when I was trying to get them to buy advertising and realized that they didn't even know what to do with the client once they got them in the door to keep them coming back for repeat business. So that's when I jumped in and said, I need to help entrepreneurs because they're doing what they love, but they're not making money and they're working way too hard. And I know how to tell them how to help them, do it differently. And so that's when I started mostly just marketing consulting in the local area. That was way before social media and even when websites weren't even that popular. So it was a while ago. And I've just been growing and evolving ever since with, learning a whole bunch of new stuff. And I'm constantly learning and then teaching clients the new stuff that I learn and helping them advance and grow. And it's been really fun.
How did you know that you would actually be good at helping somebody else grow their business? I mean, when you started and you tried and you said, okay, I think I can help you. I mean, how many people did you need to help before you went, I got this?
I was always pretty confident in my abilities. I mean, I have a degree in business and marketing, but I always say that really didn't help me too much in my business. But it did because I knew a lot about a lot of different things, So I did have that background, and I just knew how to attract attention using attention getting headlines and content, and I knew to ask for the sale, and I knew to upsell people. I knew to say like, oh, do you want fries with that, or do you want two scoops? I was an ice cream scooper. Do you want two scoops or three scoops, or instead of one? Or I just knew. I don't know how I knew it. It was just ingrained in me. I guess my mom doesn't even know any. My mom and my dad were so the opposite of sales. It wasn't even funny, and so they don't even know what happened to me.
I think you have to really like yourself and able to get out there and sell. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, well, my book, Love Yourself Successful, I realized about 7 years ago that it was when after I'd been divorced and I'd gone through trying to date, and, I realized that because I wasn't totally happy in my personal life, that I wasn't making the amount of money that I wanted to make. I was correlating with not being totally confident in asking for the sale, and really attracting the right clients, or telling people about what I do more, or having them take the next step with me, because I wasn't happy in my personal life. I wasn't totally happy in my body at the time. I had some self-doubt. And so when I realized that in myself, I looked at my clients, and about 60% of my clients were in the same position. And they weren't getting the results in their business because either they had head trash about themselves, or doubts, or self-confidence issues, or they had a bad relationship, or were unhappy in their current relationship status. So that's what I see a lot that affects us not bringing in the money or attracting the clients, is because of, I call it the love side of your life. So the love side of your life affects the business side of your life.
Okay, so before we get more information from you, this is the part of the show where I like to interpret your name for you. Are you ready?
Oh, goody. Tell me. I want to know. I can't wait.
All right. So I kind of work through in a systematic way here. So first of all, it says you're a workaholic, but you make a great couch potato. So it's one side or the other. You're either really, really working hard, or you're just, would somebody else please go to the bathroom for me because I don't want to get up. Okay. So it says that you're very observant. You don't miss much, but you don't see and tell everything that you see and what you observe. It says you're sensitive to criticism, want to shut down and quit sometimes when criticized. So you had to learn how to give yourself the self-talk. Your name says that you are learning how to be that leader, so where everybody benefits. So you have the learning skills where you're constantly learning more and more, because it's one of the things that you came to learn, according to your name, is how to lead in such a way that everyone benefits. Because it's very interesting looking at your name, you do not have one selfish letter in your name, not a one. Okay. So, I mean, I rarely see that, to be real honest. You have a competitive letter in your name that says you want to be the best that you can be, but you're competing against you. You're not competing against everybody else. And if you don't think you can do well, then you don't even want to start. You don't even want to try. It's like, if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go all the way to the top, or I'm not even going to go for it at all, because why waste my time and effort? Okay. It says you have your own organizational skill, your own way of organizing that you can easily follow, not necessarily that others could, that you have a good memory for things that you're interested in. But if you're not interested, who cares anyway? Okay. It says that your focus, we all learn in one of three ways, either through relationships, through health, or through finances. And your name literally says you learn through finances. So the good news on that means that your health, if you get sick, you're going to get well. It's an inconvenience. And relationships, if they go to hell in a handbasket type of thing, somebody else will come along, or somehow it'll fix itself. Because the real challenge is, what are you going to do with your resources? So
how fun.
Yeah, so
That's
we always
funny.
like
well,
to do
I
that.
definitely am a workaholic couch potato. I do. I'm totally that. One minute I'm a workaholic, the next minute I will sit and binge watch something all day on Netflix. That's hilarious.
It's amazing, actually, what we can see in a name. Anyway, I can go on for hours on what I see in names, but we only give it a short period of time on the show. So I want to give you 1 minute to answer this question before we'll need to start going into a break. How did becoming your own businesswoman and working for yourself. How did that change your life?
Wow. It was a little scary. Don't get me wrong. It's always scary doing something new. Well, I shouldn't say always, not for everybody maybe, but it was scary in the beginning. But I had faith, in looking back. I didn't know I had so much faith in myself when I first started, but I realized about 8 years into my business how much faith I really had to have to make the big changes and leaps of faith and take the action steps that I took. So realizing that I had more faith than I ever knew possible was a really big turning point for me in my life, after reflecting on how it's gone. So it was super cool to learn that.
That's interesting you would say that, because as a wife of somebody who moved all the time, I always just knew I'd find another job. It was like I always knew I'd be employed quickly. Anyway, we need to take a break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which can also be heard on knowthename.com. After the break, we'll find out the errors that Katrina made and how you can prevent making some of those same errors. Stay tuned to xzbn.net radio and X Zone radio station.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Gwilda Wiyaka's latest book, The Science of Magic Book of Mysteries, Volume 1, is the first book in a series based on her writings that open every episode of the Science of Magic radio show. Drawing on the subject matter of each guest, and armed with over 40 years' experience in shamanism, 35 years in alternative health, and degrees in psychology and religious studies, Gwilda introduces relevant and leading-edge information that supports spiritual evolution and personal empowerment. Rich with wisdom and inspirational quotes packaged in digestible segments, this is a book that will pull you from cover to cover. It will also serve as a daily inspirational reading for years to come. The Science of Magic Book of Mysteries, Volume 1 is available at our website, tsompublications.com, amazon.com, and wherever fine books are sold.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which is being heard on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. Our guest tonight is Katrina Sawa, who created systems to assist people in jumpstarting their businesses. And her website is jumpstartyourmarketing.com. And everything is spelt the normal way, jumpstartyourmarketing.com. Interesting website with a lot of freebies on there and a lot of things you can download and read and get ideas from. And she was a guest speaker for my group that's learning namology, and they're still going through her website. And so many said that they wanted to work with her, and they were so excited about the talk she gave them, which you will be too when you get to hear her, and when you call her. And they're still working through their website before they'll ever get to call her and say, okay, now we've digested this part. Now what do we do? Anyway, so tell us why a website is so important to a business. What should every website convey?
Oh, boy. Well, if I had an hour, I could tell you that. But the gist of it is first make sure that it hits the hot buttons of your target market. So if I'm looking for a website that tells me how to heal my arthritis, right? Let's just say. Then I better, if I find your website, then it says, oh, feel better today, get out of pain, and get back to the life you love. Well, that's kind of vague. But if it said, I help you heal your arthritis or do things to heal your arthritis, even if you've tried everything, well, I'm going to pay attention to that and look further into the site. So you only have like 3 seconds to grab someone's attention. So you better be talking specifically to what your target market, your ideal client really, really wants to see. So that's really the first key, is to get them to want to read more, because they might just click away if they don't see what they need right away. So that's the first thing. The second thing is be really personable. So you got to really show your personality on your site. These days, we really need video. We need video to like, trust, and connect with you. We need your story written out, possibly. We need pictures. So you can't be shy. You got to be bold. And then, of course, you need call to action. You need to get people on an email list. You need to have them come to a call with you. Whatever your call to action is, don't be afraid to put it there, because they won't click if there isn't a click. But if there is a way to click, they might click. So there's a lot more to it. But I have a whole free audio. You were talking about free audios on what to do on your website. But there's 17 things that I go over on someone's website.
Is color important?
Not as well. There probably is some color strategy around there. I don't find that it's as important. But what is more important is not too much big, huge pictures, right? Some people like the sites with these big, huge pictures, but not a lot of words, and especially photographers or other people. And it's like, you still got to get to the words that attract my attention. I'm not just going to sit here looking at pretty pictures all day. So color can be, I know there's people that study color and stuff like that. And so there could be some logic around it. I haven't determined that that's been a make or break thing.
Did you have stumbling blocks that you made along the way? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
Oh, yeah, boy, did I. So don't we all? Come on, nobody's perfect. I'm still making mistakes. And I just try to make less of them now, and less costly ones. So early on, because I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in my business, growing myself, growing my business, learning with mentors. But I learned along the way, after about $10,000 or $20,000 in purchases, that I was not a product learner. I'm a person learner. I'm an in-person learner or a one-on-one learner. What I mean by that is a lot of times people will buy someone's, home study program. That's a product learner. That means you're a do-it-yourself learner. That means you need to be good at listening to audios and going through the workbook and answering the questions and doing the work yourself, because no one's there to hold you accountable and no one's there to tell you what to do. So I'm not that person. I learned, unfortunately, a little too late in the game that I was not a product learner. I need to go to a workshop. I need to listen to a speaker, or I need to hire someone one-on-one and get it faster. I want results fast. I don't want to wait 12 months for you to finally tell me what to do in a group program or in a home study. That would drive me crazy. So,
That's really interesting how you separated that, because
yeah.
people with the first vowel of an A, which you have, and people with the first vowel of an O are not product learners. They have a really hard time. They don't follow through. They don't complete it. They may have the best of intentions.
Yep.
They can buy a product and then never use it, and they spent thousands of dollars on it. Because so guys, if you're listening out there and you have a first vowel of an A or a first vowel of an O, you need to do in person. Because if not, you'll probably be wasting your money.
Where were you 15 years ago, Sharon? For God's sakes, you could have saved me thousands. Okay. So another mistake that I made was being too stubborn. Okay. So I hired a lot of high-end coaches and was in a lot of masterminds. And in the beginning, when I didn't like their advice, I would just say, no, I don't think I'm going to do it that way. Even though they were making a lot more money than me. And like, it's the same thing that if my clients told me no today, I'd be like, are you crazy? I know exactly what you need to do. And I wish they would have said to me, Katrina, are you crazy? I know exactly what to tell you to do. And they probably would have turned me around. But because they just said, okay, whatever, like they were very passive. I needed someone to really push my button a little bit more to force me to stop being so stubborn. And because I wasted years being so stubborn because I didn't do what I paid people to tell me to do. That's just silly. Don't do that.
Well, you know what, though? That's really interesting. It's just like in a classroom when the teacher says, do it this way, this is how it works, and then people don't. And you think that because you're paying them so much money, you're going to at least try it their way, but we don't. We get stuck in our own ways. It's interesting that you said that. So you created
it makes sense because you did tell me that I had my own way of organizational thinking. So, I mean, so that makes sense when you think about it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so you created this JumpStart program. What exactly is that, and how did you choose its name?
Well, the name came out of the mastermind. So I'm a big believer in being in a mastermind group where there's like-minded people who are helping each other, right? Come up with really cool brands and things to do in your business and how to do things better. And it also up-levels your own confidence and your abilities. But so the JumpStart brand came out of a mastermind meeting with my peers way back when, JumpStart Your Marketing. And at the time it was perfect because I was really focusing on marketing. Now I'm more JumpStart Your Business. Now I'm writing a book series called we'll have a JumpStart Your New Business Now book coming out. Then I'm going to do a JumpStart Your Marketing book and a JumpStart Your Sales book. And a JumpStart Your Referrals. So it's kind of just branched off into a whole bunch of different JumpStart things. And it's probably because I like to take fast action. I like people who take fast action, and I want to see fast results. And so in myself, but also my clients, that's what they want. So it came about that way. I think it's just my personality coming out. I like to tell people what to do quickly to fix things and solve their problems and make them more money or whatever it is to get over the hump.
Something else in your name, it says that you don't like working with incompetent people.
That's pretty darn true. Yeah, like
it's like you got to have your act together, people. Okay,
so you can learn to be better. If you're totally incompetent and not willing to learn, then that's frustrating.
Yes, it is. Okay, so how does someone? You've got 2 minutes to answer. How does someone constantly attract and find more clients?
Good Lord. You ask me these questions that take 3 days to answer.
You want the Reader's Digest version.
The quick answer is get in front of as many people as humanly possible and hit their hot buttons and see who wants to talk to you. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's like if you're selling something for more than $500 these days, let's just say, then most people want to have a conversation with you about it first before they plop down $500 or even $5,000 or whatever it is, right? So make sure that you are getting to talk with people in like a sales conversation at least, or in a presentation, speaking gig, or, a training or a webinar or something, where you can actually give good value and then make an offer. So you have to get in front of many, 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 many more people to make the money that you want to make. And so it requires systems, automated marketing strategies, templates with emails and messages that you're sending. So having things that you can copy, paste, send, that's another book I need to write. That my clients say my book needs to be copy, paste, send, because that's what I say all the time. Just copy, paste, send this, and copy, paste, send that, and copy, paste, send this. And it's true, though. I mean, that's how you get in touch with more people and keep it and follow up with them. And you develop the systems and the templates to really reach a lot more people faster so that the right people can come through to a sales conversation. There.
Now, one of the things that my group, after you talked with them, said right away was that they all started making order sheets that now they carry around with them. So when they get through talking to somebody, they can immediately hand them an order sheet. They love that when you told them that. And I want to give you credit where credit's due. Okay,
Yay.
We need to take another break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. This show is dedicated to finding out how to jumpstart your business so wherever you're at with it, you can go faster, further, quicker. And after the break, we'll find out about Katrina's 3-step marketing program. So stay tuned to xzbn.net radio and X Zone radio station.
From our broadcast studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, to the world and beyond, you're watching the X Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
AVS Media Den.
The scientist and the mystic have been on an age-old, relentless search with one thing in common. They seek truth. Their paths converge in the 40,000-year-old practice of shamanism, an ancient science delving to the quantum level of life, facilitating healing, manifestation, and evolution. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, the founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Arts School, a unique Colorado State certified occupational school, training shamanic practitioners and teachers. We also provide classes for empowering personal lives through shamanism. Our certification classes are in week-long segments enabling international participation, and online classes and long-distance shamanic healing sessions are available. Come discover the science of magic in the limitless world of shamanism. www.findyourpathhome.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
Welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyeth, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Our guest tonight is Katrina Sawa, who can be reached via her website, JumpStartYourMarketing.com. Okay, Katrina, if someone wished to increase their business this week, or even in the next 24 hours, what would you say? In the next 24 hours, what could you do? And over this week, what could you do?
Well, in 24 hours, you need to pick up the phone, period. Like, you just need to figure out who you know, who you connect with, and find phone numbers and give people calls. That's what you need to do if you need money now or need to connect with people now. This in a week, you can get to at least 2 to 3, maybe even 4 or 5 networking events. So networking, well, speaking is fastest path to cash. So if you could be the speaker at an event live in person, that's the fastest path to cash, first of all, because number one, you've got credibility as the expert speaker, and you have a body, an audience that's, listening to you specifically share your expertise. And there's instant like, trust, and connect factor there, instant. Networking is a second to speaking. You can find the same kind of connection at a regular networking event, even if you're not the speaker. You just have to walk up to as many people as possible and meet as many people as possible in not a salesy, pushy way, like, pass your card around the room or something, but an honest way to work the room, I call it.
So what is that honest way, in your opinion?
Well, you got to know how to talk in sound bites, ask strategic questions, get their contact information, and then move and enough conversation to find out if you want to take it to a next step, or you both do, right, for a follow-up call or whatnot, and make that happen quickly. And too many times I see people at networking events and they'll only meet like 2 or 3 people because they spend like 20 or 30 minutes with one person and 10 or 20 minutes with another. And it's like, you need to be able to walk up to a group of 5 people and find out what all 5 of them do, grab all their business cards, and maybe give a quick connection with one of them, or have a quick idea for one of them, so you provide value. And then, hey, who needs to meet over here? Let's go over here and meet these people. You need to move them to the next group, or say, come with me and we'll go over this way. There's ways to move crowds around in a networking event. It takes a little practice, but introducing people to people across the room. Hey, who do you need to meet here today? Let's meet some more people. Come on, let's go join, and bring people with you to meet more people. So that's another way to not just leave them in the dust hanging, but take them with you to meet more people. So you don't be stuck with one person too long, because you can.
That sounds like what you do at a party. So that's kind of just.
Well, yeah. Well.
At a party, we all do that, right? We want to meet everybody that's there, and we all want to be social. So are we treating our networking events almost like a party and meeting people pretty much the same way, but only with a goal in mind?
Yeah, you got to go with a goal, right? And of course, we want to meet the 1 or 2 really hot prospects or referral sources at a networking event, but you don't want to discount meeting everybody else too, and at least capturing their information and planting a seed to possibly follow up with them later, right? Like, oh, we don't have a lot of time here. Why don't I grab your contact information and let's follow up later, and we can have a longer conversation and find out more about each other and see if we can help each other, right? So that kind of statement right there, if you did that with a dozen people, nobody would even think that you're being all schmoozy or salesy or whatever, and you're not. You honestly just want to meet as many people as possible, which is step 1 in my 3-step system. Get in front of more people more often and in more ways. So networking and speaking just have to be the fastest thing if you had to make money and get clients in a week or less.
Okay, so if you're networking and everything, all right, guys, since we're always doing this on names, if your name, your first name ends in an A or a Y, this is really natural for you. It's really easy for you to do what Katrina just spoke about. And notice that her name ends in an A. But for the people who don't have names end in an A, you study people. So watch the A's and the Y's and watch how they do it and then just imitate them until you get it down and it's natural for you. Okay, so that's the first step of your 3-step marketing program. What's your next step?
The next step is make it easy for people to buy from you or get information from you or find out more. Like you said, the people in your class, they took my advice and they're going out and creating order forms, right? Whether you're selling a book or you're selling a home study program or you sell a coaching program or a therapy session or whatever it is you're selling, make an order form for it in print, a piece of paper for your in-person networking events. And you don't just go passing it around, though. You wait until you have someone who's like genuinely interested. Wow, Katrina, I would like to know more. I think I really do need to talk with you and get a planning meeting. Okay, great. Well, I happen to have a planning meeting. I offer it for a discount when you meet me in person. So here's the sheet if you want to sign up now and we'll book it. And you can take their credit card today, as long as you have a way to process it back in your office. That's the little tricky part that we don't have time to get into. You don't just want to swipe the card. You need to get the full contact information. So you got to make it easy for them and take their money today when they're hot, right? But online, you got to have, like I said before, click and buy buttons. If you're interested in my session, sign up here today. If you're interested in the workshop, click and sign up, right? You got to make it easy for them to sign up, but also get information. So if your business is really technical or it's complicated and needs more explanation, you should have tutorial videos or FAQ pages or things that describe what it is you do better so that people aren't confused and walk away from your website, right? There's a lot of other suggestions, but those are just the top couple.
And to add to that, if your website's complicated, you're going to lose everybody. You've got to make it really easy to navigate. Okay, what's your third step?
The third one is developing your relationship marketing system. So I talk a lot about it's not just marketing, so marketing and lead generation bring people in the door to experience you. And then it's the nurturing process in the sales process, right? So, but the initial follow-up period is that first 60 days after you get a new contact, whether they come through a website or your social media, or they come from a networking event or a speaking gig, a new contact, then there's a lot of things you want to do with that new contact in the first 60 days after meeting them. And I talk about a 28-step touch follow-up system. And I know it sounds like a lot to do, but you can automate and delegate and systematize a lot of it. So you don't really have to do all of it as you have it all in place. You just need to get someone to enter the data or move the data into the system, and then it can go on its own, or somebody else can manage it for you when you have pre-written templates and things they don't sound pre-written. It's all about relationships. So you want to write it like you're talking to your favorite client, and then it sounds like that to everybody that you're talking to.
Are people very good at following up? I would think a lot of people would go to an event, meet a lot of people, and then get too busy.
Yeah. Well, you just described 99.9% of the planet. So, yeah, they're all too busy. Nobody follows up. There's only a few select people that I see, and those of us who teach it are the ones that do it. So there's like maybe 4 people I know that do really good follow-up out of thousands.
Okay, so any suggestions
you can learn, though. You can learn.
Any suggestions on how they can improve and increase the number of people that they decide to build a relationship with, or something that could help motivate them to follow up better?
Yeah, well, if they know they're not going to do it, then you just need to hire someone, period. So if if you've been to a lot of networking events and you have a lot of business cards sitting on your desk and you haven't done anything with it, there's 2 reasons. Either you don't want to do it regardless, or you just don't know what to do. So if you learn what to do, okay, and one thing you can do is you can make a phone call, you can send a note card in the mail, You can send an email follow-up. You can connect with them on any of the social media platforms. And then you do that times 10x it, right? But if you did at least all of the 4 things, you're bound to have connected with them somewhere in one of those 4 ways, all right? But if you know what to do and you know what to say and you still don't do it, then it's time to hire. It's time to hire someone to actually implement it for you so that you can just go out and meet more people. Okay, meet more people, and then you can pass the leads off to somebody who's going to enter the data and then send the email and connect with them on social. They can log in as you. They can write the message that you've pre-written and copy paste send. Hello. They can copy paste send the stuff that you already told them you wanted to say to the person. So you sit down, you figure it out one time, and then you pass off the system to this person that you're hiring. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. But what if it brings in more clients? It's going to pay for it in a heartbeat. So,
well, and take the stress off of you, and then you can have more time to do the creative stuff and meeting people,
right?
The stuff you like to do, right?
Yes. And even if you don't like networking, or and your name doesn't end in an A or a Y, you don't want to avoid it. You want to find out how to make it more comfortable for you, because it is a very, very good marketing strategy.
Well, and it's always important. I think we do business with people we've met a lot more than we do business with people we haven't met, because we trust the ones we've met more.
Yes. So
okay. We need to take our last break. Stay tuned to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You on xzbn.net and knowthename.com. After the break, we'll find out what Katrina Sawa has in her name that has assisted her that you might have in your name as well. Stay tuned to xzbn.net radio and X Zone radio station.
Heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
The new nonfiction book, Razor of Madness, is similar to cult movies like Clockwork Orange, Dragon's Tattoo, or The Other Side of Hell. Wayne Morin Jr. and Thomas Lee Howell expose widespread and systematic deficiencies in this thought-provoking tell-all novel. Mind control rages among scholars in law schools. Human rights are ignored while thought reform and mental manipulation are accepted practices used as behavior modification. Dr. Louis Jolyon West comes to mind. Media and public scrutiny shows that United States mental hospitals are in fact destructive murder industries. Razor of Madness expose novel details this epidemic through an in-depth professional and personal investigation. For decades, there has been a revolving door policy that still releases killers and pedophiles back into society. The maestro of mind control continues to haunt America to this very day. Razor of Madness is available in paperback or as a downloadable ebook at Amazon.com.
I'm William S. Peckham. If you enjoy a good mystery with a touch of the paranormal, then you'll love my novel, From Out of the Woodwork. It's the story of a young Toronto contractor, Sean Kennedy, who buys derelict homes, guts them, and turns them into multifamily dwellings. Slums just waiting to happen. When Sean buys 29 Livery Lane, the house fights back. Former owners unexpectedly come out of the woodwork as he starts the destruction. The apparitions come to him when he touches old books, reads hidden letters, rummages through old boxes, finds a locket, or reads a discovered manuscript of a murder mystery. From Out of the Woodwork will take you from 1899 to the horror of the World Trade Center, September 11, 2001. Check out From Out of the Woodwork on my website, www.williamspeckham.com.
Well, welcome back. I'm Sharon Lynn Wyatt, and you're listening to Know the Name, Know the Genius in You. Our guest tonight is Katrina Sawa, whose website is JumpStartYourMarketing.com. She's taken her skills to a level where she's able to have an incredible business presence, and she's also been able to assist others to have that incredible presence also. So, Katrina, what are the basics of a good marketing plan?
That's a great question. We kind of went over that. So some of the things that I talk about in getting in front of more people more often in more ways, there's there's really 20 marketing strategies that I and my team do every month, but I talk about 10. And we talked about speaking and networking, right? There's social media. But there's different things to do in social media than some people think. It's not just about posting and commenting. You want to treat social media like a big networking event. So just like you would walk into a room at a live event and walk around and talk to people and say, "Hi, I'm Katrina. What's your name? What do you do?" Oh, great. You do that on social media and you can go really far. And there's a lot more to that strategy, but it's a really great strategy when you see social media like Facebook as a huge networking event, right? And you're reaching out to people you don't know. People say, "Well, why are you reaching out to people you don't know?" Well, it's like a networking event. I'm not going to not walk over to somebody at a networking event that I don't know. That's why I'm there, right? So think about it differently, first of all. Then there's publicity, getting some free publicity in your local area or nationwide or internationally, right? I've been featured in local magazines, business magazines with an article. I've been featured in newspapers. I've been featured on the local TV stations and the news stations as a regular business expert. I even been on the local news station as a online dating expert because they found out I had a system for online dating, okay? So it's crazy what they'll put you on TV for if you have a few tips to share. So just saying that some huge opportunity there. Another strategy that you definitely want to look at is content marketing. Content marketing can be so many things these days. It used to be written articles mostly, and you put them on your blog or your email newsletter. But now you can do video articles. You can do video tips. You can do Facebook Live video and give tips on that. You can do these podcasts and radio shows and webinars, and a lot of it can be free and they can interchange, right? So you can transcribe these recordings and put them on your blog and use them in different ways. So content marketing, you got to figure out the way that you're going to develop more content. I love doing video. It's really easy for me to do video, so I do a lot of video, right? But I can transcribe those if I really wanted to. I don't always, but sometimes I do. Then,
is that something you'd hire out for and have somebody else transcribe? Doesn't that take a lot of time?
Oh, yes. Transcribing? Yes, for sure. You want to pay someone to transcribe your stuff, but you don't always want to, you don't want to necessarily pay for content writing and stuff. You can, though. There are definitely freelancers out there that will write your content for you, write articles and blog posts and things like that. And if you are super, super busy and you really can't get to content marketing, then I would suggest that, or at least going to some of the sites online that you can buy content from, or even use articles online as well. Content is king.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Do you find that people, when you're starting to help them with and you're asking them what they're doing and what they're not doing, that they spend a lot of time doing things that do not generate income versus doing the things that do generate income?
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest time wasters that I find with entrepreneurs is they waste a lot of time. They say, oh, I'm busy. I'm working really hard on my business. I'm working 60 hours a week in my business. Yes, but so one of the exercises I have people do when they say that is I have them take either a journal or a big yellow tablet of paper or something.
If you could change one thing about people's understanding or how they look at the world, what would that be?
Their understanding, huh?
But
that'll all work out in the end.
Do you think it does if they just put forth the effort?
Well, I think it can. I don't think it always does, because you got the people that are eating healthy and then they go get cancer or die of a heart attack. It's ridiculous, right? So, there are no guarantees. You got to live life today. That's all I have to. I mean, my fiance, before I was married, my fiance got cancer, and I'm like, no. I just found you. I was 42. I'm like, I finally found the love of my life at 42. You're not going anywhere, right? And so he's fine now, but you just never know. So you have to live the life you want to live now, not wait. Like, a lot of people say, well, when I retire, then I'll go do this. Or I hate my job, but I have 5 years left to my retirement, so I'm just going to stick it out. Really? So you're going to make yourself stressed out and sick, and you're probably going to get disease or cancer because you're so unhappy and your body knows it that those 5 years could kill you.
So talk to us about your book for a minute, Love Yourself Successful.
So Love Yourself Successful is that journey that I took between getting divorced and going through the whole dating process, but realizing that the 4 types of love that I needed to focus on was what's going to make me more money. And when I did that, I took a whole year, 1 year, and I was in another mastermind with a coach who I had hired to help me make more money. But all him and my mastermind were telling me to do was just be. And I'm like, no, just tell me what to do to make money. And they're like, just what do I need to do? Do I need to do more webinars, or do I need to do more networking or more speaking? They said, just be love. And that's the advice I was getting for a year. And that's one of the years I was so stubborn and I was so frustrated because I'm a doer and you're telling me to be. And so that didn't compute. And so for the whole year, I was pretty much crying and really upset that, that's all I was getting. And I'm like, seriously? But at the end of that year, that's the first year I hit 6 figures. It's also the year that I found a love of my life, not the one that I ended up with, but it was, one that lasted a couple of years. So I got love and money at the end of that really painful year that I really didn't do anything different in my business, but I guess I was being different. I was learning how to be different, and that's what it really transformed my whole business that 1 year because I learned how to be and do, and now I balance them out much better than I did before, and it really does make a huge difference.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear because if your first vowel is an A, an O, or a Y, those people are naturally doers. And if the first vowel is an I, a U, or an E, they're naturally beers. So the doers have to learn how to be and the beers have to learn how to do so that we all come into balance. But we have our native is all sitting there in that first vowel of which way we're more comfortable with. And since you're an A, it didn't surprise me at all to hear you're a doer. I always say that they're the backbone of the workforce because they do all the time and they work.
If I only knew that, seriously, 20 years prior, it would have been helpful. Sharon, your work needs to get out in the universe more because this is stuff we need to know because, we do lots of self-development work. I know I have, but nobody's said, okay, you're a doer, you need to learn to be in that way. That's so practical. I'm a practical, realistic type of person, right? If someone would have laid it down like that, not just telling me woo-woo, go be woo-woo, whatever, and I'm like, no, that doesn't compute. But you saying this, I don't know why, it makes more sense.
Well, and if you have A's or R's in your name, which you happen to have both, you have lots of A's in both your names and you have an R, those are the very practical people, very realistic people. And S's and N's are people that are grounded. They're very earthy. They look at things. Can this be done? Is this real? How do we do it? How do I get from A to B? What are my steps? So you've got all those letters in your name. So this doesn't surprise me at all for what you're doing. Okay, so I want to hear very quickly about this seminar that you're doing in April. I'd like everybody to know.
Yes. Well, you're going to be speaking. I'm so glad you're coming because my people need to know all this stuff. And it's too much to know to write it all down on a quick little thing like you're saying. So the event is Love and Money Live. loveandmoneylive.com is the website. And it's all about getting more love in your life, the 4 types of love we talked about in my book, and more money in your business so that you can design the business around the kind of life you want to live. So it's love, money, and lifestyle. It's all of it together. We go deep with the love and relationship stuff and the self-confidence and how to price yourself and not talk bad to yourself, but get rid of the self-doubt. We talk about the strategic marketing strategies and really nuts and bolts of what you need to do to focus on every day, and then how to systematize and automate and delegate a lot of it so you don't have to work so darn hard to get where you want to go.
Thank you so much for being with us, Katrina. This hour has just sped by. Okay, guys, be prepared and surprised and pleased when you get to experience Katrina Sawa's work. Her website, again, is jumpstartyourmarketing.com. Katrina Sawa's name excels at focusing on finances. If your name has the TRI combination in it, that's all 3 right in a row, the T followed by the R followed by the I, then you too are really able to focus on money, which is what it takes to earn the finances that you want. Do you know where your genius lies? I'm Sharon Lynn Wyatt, host of the radio show, Know the Name, Know the Genius in You, which can be heard every weekday at various hours right here on xzbn.net radio, an X-Zone radio station, and on knowthename.com. So tune in to hear the fascinating ways other people discovered the genius in themselves. So please go to www.xzbn.net and check out our broadcast schedule. This is Sharon Lynn Wyatt signing off.
Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Are you or is someone you know struggling with addictions, depression, anxiety, relationships, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, grief, success, and prosperity? Do you know that your subconscious belief plays a big role in the outcome of your hard work? We can help you permanently change the beliefs that may be the reason for your struggles and failures. We care about getting you the return on your investment and the results you are looking for. We can help you be free of the limitations of your past and in realizing your highest potential. We work with people by phone and Skype. For more information, visit us at www.ritasoman.com. That's www.ritasoman.com. Do you think you have energy problems in your home? Do you feel better when you're away than when you're home? Joey Korn is a global leader in the world of dowsing who specializes in personal energy clearing and space clearing. He can help you create an ideal energy environment in your home no matter where you live in the world. Learn about his remote spiritual house cleaning services and much more at www.dowsers.com. You can get Joey's book, Dowsing, A Path to Enlightenment, as well as other dowsing books and tools, Kabbalah books, and Walter Russell books. Joey's work is really amazing. Go to dowsers.com right now. That's DOWSERS.com or call 1-877-DOWSING. That's 1-877-369-7464.